Hi viewers, good evening everyone. Welcome to my channel Boom Boom Tech. So in this channel I'm going to give the brief discussion about the presentations mainly. So I'm focusing only on the presentations because many of the students are facing lots of problems. So what is happening in the programming language or what is happening in that particular topic. So I'm showing the keen interest for the benefit for the students as well. So in the previous presentation I just explained what is a programming language and what are the levels present in it and what are the types present in it and what are the generations that are covered under the programming languages. So initially I just took a topic on the C programming language. So in this language I'm going to tell about from where it is originated and what are the key points present in the C programming language and what is the structure of it and what are the contents presented in it and what are the key points or key concepts present in that C programming language I'm going to discuss in this session briefly. So here coming to this introduction. So as well, so far many of the students are just aware of C, but they didn't know what is C language perfectly and they doesn't know what is a C language in brief. So in this session I'm going to give the brief discussion about the C language and its introduction and what is the main purpose of the language. So all these contents will be covered in this presentation. So here C is a general purpose language, so all of us know this point, and it is closely associated with the Unix operating system. So here Unix comes under the operating system. So C is mainly favorable with the Unix operating system because many of the operating system we came across like Windows, Ubuntu, Linux and Unix operating system. So C was mainly associated with the Unix operating system. Actually Unix operating system was developed in the Bell Laboratories. So likewise C is associated with the Unix. So most of the programs of Unix are written and run with the help of C. So in the Unix operating system, many of the programs which were written for the development and the designing purpose, all those programs will be run and written with the help of the C programming language. So many of the important ideas of C stem are from BCPL by Martin Richards. So initially C is not a root for the programming language. So previously there will be BCPL, CPL and all those languages. From all those languages, this AT&T Bell Laboratory people or like Dennis Ritchie introduced this C language based on some of the main important features, extract some of the main features of CPL and BCPL languages, and those features are included in the system. And Dennis Ritchie introduced the C as a main language for the people who are going to busy with the things that are happen with the many embedded systems or programmers or designers or whatever the things that are happen with the C will become easy, and Dennis Ritchie make all those features present in the C are very strong, dynamic and robust for all the users, programmers, and we can say C is a supple language. So why name C was given to this language? Why not other language? So in the previous presentation we just discussed like why only French? Why not only English? Like so in the same way, why Dennis Ritchie give only the C for this particular language? Why he named C? So many of the ideas of C language were derived are taken from B language. So I already told you like some of the features, like all the features present in the C are taken from BCPL and CPL. All are these are the versions of previous versions of C language. So this is mentioned as C. Likewise, like CPL and BCPL both combinedly they took as one thing and they mentioned this features included in the C language. So Dennis Ritchie named C for this language in the combination of BCPL and CPL. So what about C? So here C programming language is a structured and disciplined approach to program design. So it is a well-mannered and well-procedured, algorithmically and flowchartically we just gone through in the previous presentation. I just discussed like what is algorithm, why algorithm and all those things. So in order to give the brief discussion about particular topic, and C is a very best structured and disciplined approach for all the programmers who are going to design and who are going to build up their career with the coding. So here are some of the important, we can say, like features of C language, we can say, or else contents of C language, we can say. And here are some of those. Like, C is a structured programming language. Like, structured in the sense there will be a procedural manner. It doesn't consist of any kind of objects, methods and all those things. It consists of only a structured manner. It consists of procedural manner. First, declarations of variables, next definition of the variables, next calling of the variables, calling of the things, calling of the data type. All those things will be happen in the procedural manner. So C is a structured programming language, we can say that. We can conclude this sentence by giving the example, like it will be in the procedural way. C supports functions that enables easy maintainability of code by breaking large files into smaller modules. In C, it's a structured programming language, we said, like all those will be of in the procedures, and each large file will be consist of smaller modules, like separate functions will be there. Each and everything will be maintained easily, in which we can break the large file into the smaller modules. Here C supports the breakage of files or modules. So comments in C provides. So here in the comments is very like we can say comments is a very often thing we can see in each and every programming language. Like, it is of easy readability. For what we will use comments, for ease of understanding for the programmers and for easy for the beginners, we will use the comments for ease of understanding. So we can say easy readability. So C is a powerful language. So previously I just told all the why C programming language and why they named it as C, and based on that we can say C is a powerful language as well, because many of the engineering students nowadays, or many of the beginners who are going to learn the programming language, they'll just learn initially C language. Why not BCPL? Why not CPL? Because C has all the features that consist of BCPL and CPL as well. So all the programming language that are introduced before C will be having the features in the C as well. So we can say C is a powerful language. So C program build forms are, some of the built-in forms in the C are variables, type declarations, functions, statements and expressions. So all these are will be explained in the upcoming sessions. So we guys can see all those things, like what are functions, what are types, what are the declarations, how the declarations are going to be, what are the variables and how variables are used, what are the statements and what are the expression comes under. All these things will be comes under the next session. So here what main idea of the C programming will be understand in this diagrammatic manner. So in the middle I represent the C programming as a main body, and on the upper part I just give the C compiler, output, variables, flow control, statements, expressions, operators and functions. So all this is a cyclomatic way we can say, or a systematic way we can say. So many of the things we can say. So we'll give functions to the code. So we can consider C programming as a thing which we used for compiling. So combination of functions, operators, expressions, statements, all these will be of separate things, and all these four will be come under one flow control. So under these flow control there will be variables. So here we guys can start from variables. So variables, next flow control, the control of the structure will be followed, and next statements, and next comes to the expressions, next come to the operators, and next comes to the function. All these will be compiled into the C compiler and gives the output. So we can say, based on this single diagram, what are the things that are happening in the C programming language. So it will take all the things like functions, operators, expressions, statements, variables, types and all those things it will take, and it will be in the structured manner and in the disciplinary approach, and it will be going to compile in the C compiler, and it will gives the output. So in the single diagram we are going to get a complete idea of a C programming language. So I just give this diagram to understand the previous content and what are the contents that are going to be described in the further contents. So in the middle of the before slide I just mentioned C programming language. So in this now we are going to see what is the structure of C programs. So in this in this structure of C programs, so before we are going to see the structure of C programs, we should have the basic knowledge about the what are characters, keywords, tokens. I just doesn't include the tokens over here. In the next sessions it will display over there. And what is the general structure of C program, how to end a statement, and how the programming language in which format the language will be, and what are the header files we are going to include, and what are the library functions that we are going to include. So all those we have to learn before we are going to learn the structure of C programs. So the structure of C programs will be of different kinds. So main entry of the program execution, from the end of the execution there will be lot of inclusions like character set, keywords, and structures, and where the statement is going to be end, what format of language we used, what are the header files we just used in it, what are the libraries we are going to use in it. All those things we have to learn before going to learn the structure of C programs. So in this we are going to learn what are those things. So what is a character set? So we can say a single alphabet is a character set. So small caps from A to Z, caps lock from A to Z, 0 to 9, special characters like hash, percentile, dollar, exclamatory, underscore, flowers, all those parentheses, dollars, ampersand, and space, colon, and some of the special like operators like plus, minus, divided by, multiplication. All this comes under the character set. So C doesn't use every character set and key found on modern computers. So C doesn't use each and every character present in the modern computers. Like in the many years back, there is not all the features that are included. Like all the characters are not included in the previous aged computers. So in the modern computers, all the characters are included, and the programmers are used to follow all these characters as well when they are going to declare the variables and all. So what are the keywords that are present in the C? So keywords has a special meaning in which the C compiler took the sense. So their meaning cannot be changed at any instance. So here some keywords are of case sensitive. So all the keywords in the C should be of lowercase only. So in the C language particularly, actually we can say C is a case sensitive, so we can write in each and every case as we know. But coming to the keywords are of only a lowercase things. So serve as basic building blocks for program statements. So here keyword serves as a basic building blocks for each and every programming statements. We'll have some minimum basic lowercase keywords for each and every basic program. So like here int is a keyword, we can say int is a data type, and some of the keywords will be mentioned in the upcoming sessions or upcoming slides. I just mentioned some of the keywords present in the C compiler and what the compiler is going to take. So we can say just by concluding what is a keyword, in the sense keywords has a special meaning for the compiler that is going to be take, which is given by the programmer, and it just cannot change at any instance. It's of fixed. Keyword is of fixed, and it cannot be changed at any time. When the object is created, it doesn't change. When a statement is called or when a method is called, it doesn't change. It will stay. The meaning for the keyword will be the same for the entire program. So that's a keyword. So here comes the structure of C program. So here they just mention what are the header files that are included, what are the entry point of the program, and what is the other statements that are included, and I just doesn't include here like character set I doesn't include here, and keywords I doesn't included here. I just mentioned only the header files and what is the basic structure, like declarations I doesn't mention here. In the upcoming sessions I just explain all those declarations and variable sessions. All those things will be in the upcoming slides. So here ash include stdio.h is a header file and conio.h is a header file. So conio.h is a header file which is used only for the Windows system especially. So in the Windows system we use conio.h, and stdio.h is a standard library, standard input and output header file which includes all the input and output related statements like printf, scanf. All the statements will be comes under that header file. some coming to the conio.h. In the main method we are going to return like in the end we are going to return the statement like get ch, like in the braces will include something. So in order to execute that get ch, we just give the conio.h. so in the void main is the entry point of the execution where the execution of the program is going to be started, and other statements will be written here. This is known as the body of the program. So in this body of the program we are going to give the declarations of the variables and declaration of the statements as well, and we are going to return the statements as well, and we are getting the output from here only. Where are the statements we are going to write? This is the place where we are going to write the logic and everything in the body of the program. So header files. So what are the header files that included in the previous slide is standard io.h and conio.h. so the files that are specified in the include section is known as header file. So why we use the header files? So for suppose we are going to use like we are going to use square root functions, power functions, all those. For that purpose we are going to use math.h header file. For separate functions we are going to use separate header files. So in order to execute all those functions we are going to include this, so we just call that as files like math.h, power.h, all those are known as files. In order to include all those files in that particular session we just call it as a header file. So these are precompiled files that have some functions defined in them. So C inbuiltly are having some of the header files which are predefinedly defined. So we can call those functions in our program by supplying parameters. So I just mentioned like before math.h. so in math.h we use like math.h header file. We just use trigonometric functions or like sin h, cos x, sin x, tan h. All those things can be applied by applying the parameters over them into the particular things. So header file is given as extension.h. so in the extension we are going to give the stdio.h and conio.h. .h is an extension for the each and every header file. So C source file is given as extension.c. so each and every C source file, so what are the programs that are written in the C programming language are given with the extension.c. so we are going to execute with the extension.c, add.c, sub.c. so in order to execute or in order to compile the program that we have written, that should be saved with the .c extension. So what is a main function? So in the previous basic structure we just see what is a main function, where the entry point will be there, that where main is included like void main or int main, that is known as the entry point of a program where the file is executed. So where there is a main, from there onwards the file is going to be executed, and we just can identify that is a starting point of the main function. From the main function the flows goes as far as I already mentioned all these two points. And here for each and every C program main function is a must ensure. So whether it is a void main or int main, that's a secondary. So based on the compilers, based on the operating system, we are going to use all those return types like int and void, all those things irrespective of what the operating system. So main is a must and should function that we have to include each and every program in the C language we are going to write. So how to run a C program? So in order to run a C program we have to type a program in the notepad, or else wherever we are comfortable in, like wherever we are comfortable like a document, or else in the notepad, or else wordpad, whatever. So we have to save it in the manner like .c extension we have to save it, and we have to compile the program. So whenever we compile the program it will generate into the .exe file. So after save it will compile. After compiling it will generate an execute file in the operating system itself. So after the compilation has been completed, it will run the program and it will give the output for the exact program what we are going to write. So here run the program in the sense actually executed, created out of the compilation will run, and not the .c file. So here we are going to write the program as well, like all the others did. We will write the program and we are going to save it, and we just save it by using .c. So here the execution is not happen in the C file. So here what happens is, here the entire C file will be in the human readable format. So all that human readable format will be going to be transferred into the byte format. That byte format will be into an .exe file. So that file will be executed and that file will be going to give the output for us. So .c file is not going to compile and not going to give the output. Here we are getting the output from the .exe file, in which the bytecode from the .c file is get converted into an exe file, so that will get the output. So this is what .c file, difference between .c file and .exe file. .exe file is mainly consists of a bytecode which is totally the machine understandable language. .c file is a human readable format in which only the humans can understand. So we are going to write the program, so that's why we consider .c file. That's why we are going to understand it. The .exe file is human readable format is not correct. So in different compilers we have different options for compiling and running. So in the Windows operating system we do have F9 and F5 for compiling and running, and Unix it will be different, and Ubuntu it will be different, and for each and every operating system it will have different compilers and it will be of different types. So what are the tokens that are going to be have in the C language? So here the C language is mainly full of tokens. So what are tokens? So we can see in the restaurant, like they'll give the tokens for us in the olden days, or like we'll give money, they'll give tokens. So what are tokens? So in order to mention a separate thing, we just go with the token. Like if we want a breakfast puri, they'll give one color. For idli they'll give another color. So likewise in the tokens also there are different types, like keywords, identifiers, constant, string, special. All these are of different tokens that are going to be learned in the C programming language. So in the C source program, the basic element recognized by the compiler is a token. So whatever the thing we are going to given in the program in the C, that will be taken under that compiler will be going to take it as a token. A token is a source program text that the compiler does not break down into the component elements. So here whatever the tokens we are going to give in a bulk, it doesn't break it into the smaller components. It will take as it is. So whatever we just give it to the compiler, it will take as it is. So we just have the 6 different types of tokens over here. Keywords, identifiers. So keywords are of here they just mention float, int, these are the data types, and while here comes under the loop. And identifiers, here identifiers are like main, amount, all those things. Constants, these cannot be changed. Constants cannot be changed entire the program. Strings, here the group of characters are nothing but a string. Here the single character, yes, yum, it, Smith, considerable. Combinedly we call it as a string. Special symbols are nothing but flower braces, square braces, and all those things comes under the special characters. Operators like plus, minus, into, all these are tokens and in the general syntax. So all these are taken as only the tokens. So if we give the int and if we declare the variable int, it will take only the int. So likewise the compiler will take tokens as only the tokens. It doesn't break the tokens as another thing and all. The compiler will take tokens as tokens only. Whatever we declare with the tokens, it will take like that only. The compiler doesn't break anything like small elements. When compared to the file, it will break each, and if the block size of the code is large, it will break the components and it will execute line by line based on the compilers and translators. So here are some of the keywords in C. Auto, break, case, char, constant, all these are the keywords present in the ANSI C. So basic American like standard, some abbreviation user, I just didn't remind it properly. So here are some of the keywords, main keywords that are present in the C programming language. These are the main important things. Like here are some of the auto, register, and some of the things are static, and register I got it here, auto I got it here, static, and another thing is there, I just didn't remind it properly. All these 4 are garbage collectors. Some garbage collectors are there, 4 garbage collectors. That all those things will be covered in the next upcoming sessions as well. Now coming to the identifiers. So what are the identifiers? In which we are going to identify based on their variables or functions, etc. So by use if a set of teddy bears are there in a row, so we are going to identify them as a teddy bears by seeing what, by seeing the behavior, character, nature, and whatever the those. So we just can say identifiers are identifiers must begin with that this. So it is of having some features. Identifiers are having some features in which we have to follow. So we have to identify each and everything based on the following properties. So C keywords cannot be used as identifiers first. So here are some of the properties. Here are some of the properties of identifiers. C keywords that can never be used as identifiers and must begin with the alpha character or underscore followed. So here the each and every identifier should begin with an underscore or else alpha character. So either it will be of uppercase or lowercase. So as I mentioned, like C is a case sensitive, so we can write C in uppercase or lowercase, whatever it is. But so most must contain only letters, digits, so must not contain spaces. So here only the exception for the identifiers is it should not contain any spaces in the meanwhile. So this is about the identifiers. So coming to the constants, so entire program the constants are of fixed, so it cannot be changed like globally or locally. It doesn't change globally or locally, so these are named as constants. So I just give the tree structure of constants. What are the constants? Like constants is derived into the two numeric constants, character constants, and again numeric into the real and integer, and character constants, a single character, and string constants. So all these we can identify like constants. In numeric constants, in the sense we can say 3.14 pi value, we can say that's as a numeric constants. Character constants, like if we declare hello and we are going to assign some value for that hello, that comes under the character constant. So when declaring the constant values like pi value, hyphen value, sigma value, like based on the logic we are going to take all those things under the consideration, we are going to use the constants like globally. So whatever the thing is, it doesn't change, it has only the fixed values, it doesn't change the values during the execution of a program. So here are some, so I just mentioned like what are the integer constants. So integer constant comes under hexadecimal integers, like I just mentioned 0x2, all those are of constants, we cannot change those values during the program. So real constants are like floating point constants, we can say real constants. Single character sets single character constants are all those single character constants can be mentioned in the single quotes itself. So I just mentioned here like in the single quotes we can mention either 8a, whatever the case instead it is, irrespective of uppercase, lowercase, or numeric, whatever we can just mention. If it is mentioned in the single character single quotes, we just can say it is of single character constants. Like string constants, irrespective of the case sensitive, like alphabetical, numerical, and whatever we just if we mention it in the double quotes, we just can say string constants. So the difference between the single character constants and the string constants are nothing but a quotes. If we mentioned anything in the single quotes, it will take as a single character constants, and if we place anything in the double quotes, it will take as a string constants. So those are all about the constants. So now coming to the declarations. In the declaration sessions, what are going to be discussed? So what are the constants that are going to be declared? What are constants and variables must be declared before they can be used? So in the logic, we are going to use some of the variables like a, b, c, some kind of variables are going to use. So before going to use the variables, we are going to instantiate them in the declaration session. So that is what they have mentioned. So a constant declaration specifies the type. So in order to begin the declaration, like we have to mention we have to declare a, b, c, three variables. For that we have to give the type, what type we are going to use, what like numerical type or else alphabetical type or alphanumeric type. We have to mention the type, like in short all those data types should be mentioned in front of the declaration of the constant and the value of the constant. Any attempt to alter the value of the variable is defined. So regarding the declarations, all the content is here. So a variable declaration specifies the type, the name, and the possibly initial value of the variable. So whenever we are going to declare the variable, we are going to initialize the variable with a name or else a letter or else a character along with the type. So here the data type is a mandatory for each and every variable when we are going to declare the variable. And now when you declare a constant or a variable, the compiler, so when we are going to use all those variables in the logic session, in the program session, we are going to declare all those things in the previously. So what is the use of declaring it previously when we are using in the programming logic? So when we declare the constant or a variable for initially, so compiler will allocate some memory when we are going to declare a variable. It will store the value. It will store the constant value in the register itself. So it will store each, and for a it stores some value. For if we mention a, it is of int. It will take like minus 128 to 127 like range. So in between the value, it will occupy some memory location. So it means here reserves a memory location. It gives a value over here, associates the name of the constant or a variable with the memory location. So I just mentioned like what are the declarations to be happen and what happens if we declare the variables in before using those variables in the program logic. So it will allocate the memory previously and it will use that memory location whenever the variables that are used in the logic. So in the next session, what are the variables in C? A variable is a data name that is used to store any data value. So in order to store any data value, we are using the variable. So for the storage purpose, we are going to use a variable. So we can change, or variables are used to store values that can be changed during the program execution. So here we can give the variables like dynamically, statically, we can give, so all those can change during the program execution. So here is some example. X equal to a plus b. So here we are going to give the a plus b value for the x. So here initially we are going to declare the x, a, b, right? So based on this thing and this equation, we are going to know what is the variable declaration and what is the expression that is going to be happen and what is the thing that are going to be happen in the compiler. So here x is going to be declared initially, a is going to be declared initially, b is going to be declared initially. So what happens? So x will occupy some memory location, a will occupy some memory location, b will occupy some memory location. So what are the types? We have to mention the type of each and every variable whenever we are going to declare in the initialization. So if all these things are of int, so it will give the result of type int. So if it is a float or float, based on the compilers, it will give an error as well. So in the practical manner also, we can see the sessions after all the presentations have been completed, and after all the presentations are completed, I'll just go through the practical sessions also. If any doubts regarding all these things, you guys just can mention in the comment section as well. So if the people who doesn't subscribe still now can subscribe, share and like my channel. And coming to the next, naming variables. So the session is being, so far it's been 33 minutes for now. So I'll just skim up some things like many of the people are known about the things, naming the variables. How can we name the things? Like based on the property, based on the behavior, based on the character, based on things, based on the inheritance, all those things we can name the variable. So many variable names in C only consist of digits, letters, underscores, etc. It will be consist only of 31 characters, like or significant, may not be with a number. So variable name doesn't start with a number, may not be a reserved word or keyword. So can start with an underscore, can contain the numbers or whatever the things. So here the exception is only with the reserved words. So the keywords cannot be used as a naming variables. So what is a case sensitive? So I just mentioned this case sensitive matter previously. So C is a case sensitive. It matters whether an identifier such as, so whatever the things. So we can mention area like small cases, uppercase and mixing of upper and lower case. All these are different. So we can say, so all these things will be taken as area only for the compiler. So we can say it doesn't matter whether it is uppercase or lowercase. C is a case sensitive language. So again, the declaration of variables I just mentioned, like here we are going to include length and area as float. So length as int, and here declaration of variables based on the types. So here we have to mention, so includes the data type of a variable. So here we just include the data type int, and we just include the float for the area. So and we just also include the sum, and that is of int type. So how the declaration, all these theoretical matter is of initial, like it's been time taking, so I just go through only with the examples now for now. How the variables are going to declare, like we have to mention data type for sure, like here I just mentioned the int for length and float for area, and for the summation of both those I just to store the result I just need some as a variable, and I just give the type int. So here is a key point for declaring the variables. Once a value has been placed in a variable, it stays there until the program alters it. So if a variable is given to a specific type, it will be of same for the entire program completion. So entire the program is going to be complete, it will be under that same type only. Here the length is given as type int, so in the middle of the program we shouldn't give it as a float. So initially it take as int, so for entire program it will take as int only. So this is the main thing that is going to be happen while declaring the variables. So what are the data types present in C? So I'll just give the brief description in my next presentation about the data types in C. For now I'm going with the 3 basic data types over here, like primitive data types and derived data types and user defined data types, like int, float, char, double. All these are the primitive data types in which we just used all those things in different programming languages as well. And coming to the derived data types like arrays, list, linked list, all those things comes under derived data types. User defined data types are structures, enums, unions, all this comes under the user defined data type. I'll just sorry guys, I'll just make it another presentation and I'll explain each and everything clearly in my next presentation. So guys, please don't mind it, and I'll give the brief description about each and every. I'll just keep a session for data types only. And I just mentioned, for the time being I just give only the size representation and what is the minimum and maximum range of each and every data type, like char, unsigned char, short, signed short, unsigned short, int, unsigned int, all these things I just mentioned here. Overall, as the time is so precious and I'm going to make more and more stuff for you guys, so for the time being I just give only these matter for you. So and finally it is I'm at the end of this session. We just go through that. Hash include, actually basic, just explain the basic structure of C programming language. There itself I doesn't include any printf or scanf, getch and everything. So here I just include hello world program, like hash include stdio.h is a header file for us, and void main, it is an entry point of execution over there, and main entry point of our program, and printf hello world, and slash n for the slash n for the line ending, and that next printf statement should be printed in the next line. For that purpose I just to begin the next statement in the next line I just keep the slash n get ch. I just tell about the get ch and the difference between the written and the get ch in the previous session, previous slides. I just gone through all those things. So here in the terminal, after running the program, that simple program, it will give the hello world as an output. Thank you for watching guys, and if any queries regarding this presentation